Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, and as always, sitting across from me, my co-host Aaron Coe.
Hello.
Today is Wednesday, October 21st, day after Game 1 of the World Series. First of all, congrats. Actually, no, first of all, 57% of you motherfuckers aren't subscribed. So I can see that shit, okay? I can see it, and I know you're not. So go ahead and hit subscribe. It's free. We only post twice a week. You don't even have to turn on notifications. We're just gonna annoy your sub inbox twice a week, and you can always unsubscribe too. So yeah, go ahead and fucking
Do
jump
it.
on it. Just do it. Yeah. Day after Game 1 of the World Series. First of all, congrats to the Dodgers and the Rays for making it. Dodgers with quite the comeback against the Braves there in the series.
Yeah,
so
down 2-0, then down 3-1.
yeah. I feel like it's more common in baseball, a 3-1 comeback. Just basing it off, I feel like people were making a huge deal.
I think baseball is definitely basketball. You know, you have the same guys every night.
Yeah.
So if you're better than them, you're better than them. But in baseball, you have different pitchers every night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about who gets hot. You know, you never know who's going to be a hot pitcher or a hot bullpen.
Yeah.
So it can change pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of changing pretty quickly, Clayton Kershaw didn't fucking suck.
No, he didn't.
6 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. One of those hits was a home run, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he served that one up too. I saw
Yeah,
that one.
I mean, he had to do it once. He had to do it once in the World Series.
I was like, oh, here we go,
Yeah.
because it was early. I mean, it was.
Okay.
They were ahead 2-0, and that made it 2-1.
Okay.
I forget which inning, but it was. Well, I guess it wasn't that early, but it was. It was maybe the third or fourth inning.
I didn't watch the game. I was at work for an unexpected long day, which was awesome, and then pretty much just straight to bed.
Yeah.
So I did not witness, but seeing that you wrote in the notes, Kershaw didn't suck. Hey,
He didn't suck.
that was surprising to me, and I wouldn't, obviously, I think seeing the Dodgers lose is just kind of funny,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of, Kershaw's a legend of this generation, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy. Last year he cleaned it up a little bit in the playoffs. He still had a bad start, but it's good to see him have some success. Just finally, I'm kind of okay with him doing good in the playoffs from here on out.
Yeah, I think we all like the redemption story, and
Yeah.
he's not a bad guy or anything. But yeah, it's been perplexing. His ERA is 2 points higher in the postseason.
It's insane.
In five prior to last night, in 5 World Series games, he had an ERA over 5, which is not what you're looking for from. I mean, is he the best pitcher of this generation?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, who else are you gonna say? Verlander.
But Verlander had a few bad years.
Yeah,
but he's
and he's been unhealthy here and there. I don't know if you want to consider that when talking about it,
but so regular season there, I don't think there's any question that Kershaw's been that guy, but postseason not so much.
No. So yeah. I'm perfectly fine. I want the Rays to win this just because it's Tampa Bay. It would be kind of cool to see the Rays and the Tampa Bay Lightning both win their respective championships, and the city of Tampa Bay, I feel like hasn't had too much going for them ever. So I mean, it's small market, and I feel like with the Rays you kind of just need some crazy shit to happen for them to win any given year.
Right.
So
it's funny, a friend of mine on Facebook who actually was the inspiration for my book here.
Oh,
in a way, yeah. He's definitely not a true story, but there's some facets of his life and personality that played into that. But he mentioned that could Tampa Bay win I don't know what you call it, but the Triple Crown, whatever you want to call it, because I mean their football team has a shot too. I hope not, but I hope that doesn't come true. But yeah, they have a legitimate shot here to sweep it, so that would be interesting.
And LeBron played in Miami at one point, which is kind of close to not even close to Tampa Bay, really.
Oh, he played everywhere. Who cares?
All right. Yeah. So congrats to the Dodgers taking Game 1. It was like 8-2, right? Wasn't it pretty?
Yeah, it was. There was no scoring, I think, for the first 3 innings. I was only half watching it, and then Dodgers get a 2-run shot, and then Kershaw serves one up. But yeah, there was nothing for in terms of runs scored for quite a while. But
I saw Bellinger hit a home run, and I was just in the kitchen, like getting water or something.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I saw from that game.
And then they tore it up.
Yeah, so
later in the game.
I think is game 2 today.
I think so.
Pretty sure game 2.
It is.
It is okay. Pretty sure game 2 is today, so I should be able to watch that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
We got a former a Seattle kid on the mound, Blake Snell. He's from
Shoreline. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
did he go? I don't know if he went to. I think he went to UW or committed to UW. I forget which one now.
I don't even know.
He's a big UW fan. I know that.
Yeah, game 2 tonight at 5:00, 5:08. So yeah, I'll probably be tuning in for that. I guess moving on to the NFL. So Dallas actually sucks, I guess.
It sure looks like it.
We knew that Dak Prescott was the one kind of carrying them. You had your player of the week last week was the Red Rifle, or as I like to call the Red Rocket, and yeah, didn't do so hot.
He was terrible.
This is, if anything, I don't know if indictment is the right word. This is an indictment on how good Dak Prescott is, unless it was his first start in a while, so it could just be rust or whatever. But this also could be a bad indictment on McCarthy.
It's just a mess there. First of all, they had an offensive lineman retire. They had a couple of years ago, they had maybe the best offensive line in the NFL.
Hands down.
Since then, one is retired kind of unexpectedly. 2 are down, and then a third one was banged up during that game. And Andy Dalton's not the guy that he's not going to do his 2014 Russell Wilson, scrambling all over the place. No. I thought he would get rid of the ball quickly. I thought they would get him some screens.
I would have thought that too. That's what I would have expected.
They have some weapons. They've got, Zeke Elliott. They've got the two or three other receivers that are real weapons. And so I don't know if it was him or I think it was a combination of everything. And McCarthy seems lost.
Yeah.
So and then they just don't have the talent to overcome that.
We got to remember. Let's just pound it into people's brains. This dude lied about working hard in the season. He lied, got the job, and in his opening press conference said he lied. This isn't like he lied to get this job. And I mean, Jerry Jones is probably seething right now. Yeah. So, it's hard to tell. I mean, was Jason Garrett a bad coach? Is Mike McCarthy a bad coach? Where does Jerry Jones fit in here as far as having a shitty team for so long? He has to be in there somewhere.
It's like I have always said with the Mariners. Are we going to get angry at 12 managers? I don't know how many managers they've had in 20 years, but however many managers there have been, I've lost count.
Yeah.
8, whatever it is, I don't even know. Do we get mad at those and the 4 GMs and do we get mad at the bat boy? No, there's it's ownership.
Has to be.
So when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson, when he was the coach and basically the personnel guy for the Cowboys, he brought in a ton of talent, made great trades, was a good NFL coach, and then a year or two after he left, they've kind of gone downhill. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones is a fantastic businessman, great stadium, has brought the NFL, opened a lot of doors for the NFL in terms of partnerships.
Yeah.
But as far as him picking players in the draft and things like that, there's a couple things with him. So first, he doesn't always pick the right players. And then the other one would be I've heard that he gets attached to some guys and then he wants to re-sign them. So sometimes they re-sign the wrong dudes.
He pretty much confirmed that when it came to Jason Garrett, because he said he's like family. We run this team like a family.
Right.
So, and as we're seeing now, it might not have been Jason Garrett's fault. Oh my God. camera's out. I'll fix that in a minute. Yeah. So. Oh, we're back. Okay. So yeah. He has to fit in there somewhere as far as why they have not seen success. Great at business partnerships, not great at partnering himself with a Super Bowl ring, unfortunately. And also, like you said with the personnel thing, he builds his team like a fantasy team.
He does.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And, they had that great offensive line, but, I mean, signing Zeke, he said he wanted to pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think the CeeDee Lamb, I think that was a great pick because he fell to him. Yeah. But still, I mean, you already have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. You have weapons.
I mean, he's not the worst at it. I mean, obviously they've had some decent teams, but yeah, they haven't gone to a Super Bowl in 24 years.
Yeah.
And they're not going this year.
No. Hell nah.
So
they still could because they're like
That's true. They're probably gonna win the division.
They're in the hunt for the division at 1-5 or whatever they are. So yeah, I mean that's pretty rough.
Yeah, last team to 10 losses is gonna win that division.
Seriously.
It looks like
seriously.
So and along with that, so I'm not sure what to make of Arizona thumping Dallas.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna look at.
It looked like there was some quit there with Dallas. I watched parts of that game.
It would be hard for them to not quit. I mean, they're such a shitty team at this point, and they were down by a lot. Yeah, they're 2-4.
So I'm hearing little rumblings of Arizona being a darling again because they beat the Cowboys. I mean, if you beat the Jaguars, are you a darling?
At this point, we got to treat the Cowboys like the Lions at this point.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
So it's not a big win.
No.
Arizona is a decent team, but they're not
I did not see the stat line here. Kyler Murray was 9 for 24 for 188. He did have 2 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake fucking finally did something. 20 for 164 and 2 touchdowns there. Oh, Kyler Murray did have 74 yards and a rushing touchdown. So when you take it all into account, it's not a terrible day, but 9 for 24 is a little concerning. So also I just want to reiterate Joe Flacco took a 28-yard sack. I just saw that highlight. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny.
What are you trying to
28 yards, man.
Yeah.
That's just the Jets season in a nutshell.
Trying to pirouette like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kept going backwards like he was skiing.
Joe Flacco was an elite quarterback, though. You have to remember. All right.
Boy, there have been a couple guys that have gotten hot at the right time as quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Flacco. Oh gosh, the guy for the Bears now.
Trubisky.
Nick Foles.
Or Nick Foles, yeah.
Nick Foles.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, there have been some guys that
Jared
have gotten
Goff.
hot at the right time and gotten paid. Jared Goff. Yeah.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
The list goes on, but Gardner Minshew.
Flacco wins a Super Bowl, and he was really good during that run.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There was a genuine argument of whether he was elite or not.
Yeah.
And during that stretch, it's not ridiculous to say he was. But
But
that
was it.
Speaking of maybe formerly elite, probably not anymore, Le'Veon Bell being signed to the Chiefs. They just get another weapon.
Yeah.
The funny, I think I mentioned this, the funny thing about this signing is he was choosing between the Bills, Dolphins, and Chiefs. Those are the next 3 games for the Jets. I hope that Le'Veon is, I don't know what he has to do to be good to go, just learn the playbook, or I don't know if he's dealing with any sort of health issues.
He's only 28. Like it feels
Jesus Christ, he's only 28?
It feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah, for sure.
He's still, 28 for a running back. You're coming up on your retirement, but he should have something left. I don't know. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. That would be the question.
Andy Reid's gonna do some shit with him that makes him good again.
Probably.
I imagine slot receiver. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think it would be funny because the Chiefs are going to beat the Jets anyway. I think it would be funny to see a Le'Veon revenge game. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah. Also, just anything that gets Adam Gase out of that building, I want to happen. I just feel bad for Jets fans at this. It was funny and now it's sad.
Yeah.
So, if he has a great game, that I'm using the word indictment a lot, that would be yet another indictment of Adam Gase. Get his ass out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another signing, Michael Kendricks to the practice squad.
Oh, for
Seahawks.
Seahawks?
Yeah,
Oh,
happened this morning. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, I'm glad.
Did he get sentenced?
I don't think so. I think it got delayed again.
It got
Maybe.
delayed again. Just
yeah,
trying
here
to
it is.
delay it until the end of his career.
Seriously, I am glad that he's in the building because I wouldn't want him giving any sort of insider information to other teams.
Yeah. He's not a bad player.
No, he's not.
I'm surprised. I think teams were not willing to sign him because of his sentencing was coming.
Yeah.
So, but you don't want to sign a guy and then watch him, end up behind bars. So
yeah, seriously.
So yeah, I mean he's a solid player and at a position that they could use some depth right now.
An athlete, just an athlete, purely, and
they don't have to use Amadi anymore. They can just leave Kendricks out there.
Oh my God, I forgot. That's why Pete just constantly didn't run. Oh fuck, I forgot about that.
He can establish the run.
He said that. He said
base defense, baby.
Yeah, Pete said that before the year. He was like, Michael Kendricks was used as our nickel, and now we're gonna just run nickel. So I hope that doesn't happen again, where he's our nickel, because that's not what he is. But yeah. And I guess just kind of a quick thing, Santa Clara County overruled the state, which I didn't know could happen.
So, but yeah, basically, so they were.
So hold on. So there's no fans. They were gonna have 13,000 fans for the Niners, and they're not. Are they gonna have 0? Is that what it is?
0 right now.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So the state was gonna allow that, but the county, and it's the same thing here. So. I believe so that the state says you can do this, but the county can say okay, but we're not gonna. Basically you can make it more strict.
Oh,
yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but you can't loosen the rule.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that does make sense, I suppose.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, and Santa Clara has been one of the counties that's been more strict than most. So
yeah. All right. Well,
I don't know. I don't really care, other than. I would like to see some fans at games.
Definitely.
And I would like to see... I would have loved to have seen them do it. I want to see a few other teams do it.
Put, 3,000 in there.
Yeah.
Just, there's 3,000 in a 70... How many can they
outdoor
see?
Stadium.
An outdoor stadium with, tens and tens and tens of thousands of seats available. I feel like it's not that hard.
If we can go into a restaurant at half capacity that's indoors where people aren't actually wearing their masks while they're eating, I think we can figure out 5,000 to 10,000 in a huge outdoor arena.
With I assume they have multiple entrances.
Yeah.
So just direct. You got this ticket. I mean, you don't have to deal with a bunch of people doing a bunch of bullshit because it's only gonna be 3,000 to 5,000. However many.
Yeah.
13,000 is quite a few. So
yeah, I would start smaller and increase it if it goes well. So,
it's pretty simple. I mean, you could even this might be too much money, time, whatever, but you could even try and track what happens with the fans that go.
Yeah.
Give them tests. I don't know, but
yeah, I would have liked to have seen San Francisco get something going because every time someone gets something going, there's a chance that that our leadership will allow it. Listen, this isn't the most important thing in the world, and we're doing a sports show here, so we're talking about sports. I'm not saying that the world's going to end if there's not 10,000 people at a Seahawks game. I'm just saying, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to figure out how to do it in a way that's safe.
I think at some point you got to let people spend a shit ton of money and take their own risk when nothing is going right. Nothing's going well already. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. You can disagree with me. Fucking comment, text me, whatever. So you posed a couple questions here. The first one being, do you care if Russ wins MVP? I think this is really interesting because I don't think I care if he has the award. I just want him, and I don't know if he cares that much. I just want him to get respect. Like, I want people, when people talk about Patrick Mahomes and fucking Aaron Rodgers, I just want Russ to be there with it. Like, just give him the Patrick Mahomes respect. Just do it. That's all I want. It's probably going to take an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, of course I want him to win MVP. I just it does, as a Seahawks fan, it does bug me a little to never see him in these conversations unless he just played a game where he went off.
Right.
As soon, like 2 hours after Russ is done playing, conversation about him stops until he starts playing again.
Right.
And it has to do with, him being a smaller guy, not a prototypical quarterback. I think it definitely has to do with us being way up in the corner here. So, it's like I want him to get this respect. It doesn't affect me that they're not talking about Russell Wilson. It's not like emotionally impacting me.
Yeah.
But it's just it gets annoying. Patrick Mahomes makes a sidearm throw that he does all the time to a player in the 3 yards away from him in the flat, and then Russell Wilson drops a dime 50 yards downfield, and it just doesn't get as much coverage or anything. Yeah, what do you think?
I don't care a whole lot. It's funny. I have two. If you ask me about college football, do I want a Heisman contender? My answer is absolutely, because there are humans that determine whether your team gets into a playoff or not. There are people deciding that.
And recruiting.
And recruiting is big too. I want that attention. I want games that people are watching. I want athletes that people are watching.
Yeah.
Because it dramatically affects this season, whether you get what bowl you get into, if you get into the playoff or not. And recruiting. In the NFL, sure, I'd love to see him win it, sure, but I don't care very much. Like, it's one of those, oh, that's nice. Yeah. But in the NFL, it's all about your results on the field. So I don't care if it's college football. Yeah, I kind of root for Pac-12 teams to do well, unless it's Oregon.
Yeah, fuck Oregon.
Fuck Oregon. I kind of root for the Pac-12 to do well again in non-conference games, because we need that perception, because it helps our football team.
And you want to be, weirdly enough, top heavy. You want your good teams to win all their games.
Yes.
And the bad ones to lose all their games.
For sure. That's what the SEC does. So the SEC is known as this strong conference, but it is very top heavy, and their top heavy is really heavy.
Yeah.
But their bottom half of their conference is dog shit.
I would like to see, there's no way. I would just like to see a full season of every Pac-12 team plays every SEC team.
Yeah.
Just to see, because I think the bottom half of the Pac-12 is probably better than the bottom half of the SEC.
I think most years I think that's true. Yeah. In the NFL, no, I want the NFC West to lose every game.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't affect whether or not
I wish we were in the NFC East.
Yeah.
I wish we were.
Yeah. So I have, it's a very different viewpoint for me. I would love to see Wilson do it. Yeah, I would love to see him, 20 years from now, I'd love to hear his name mentioned when people are talking about the best quarterbacks in the game. I don't think he's there yet, but if they won a couple more Super Bowls, he might be. Mm-hmm. If he wins an MVP or two, he might be. That'd be fun. I don't really care. If he wins more Super Bowls, then he'll get that respect. And that's what I want is Super Bowls. So
first and foremost, more than respect for him or an MVP, I want him to win a Super Bowl. So, I think that's all he cares about. Yeah. It just bugs me when I see Patrick Mahomes highlights and I'm like, Russ can make that throw. Yeah. And Matt Stafford made this sick sidearm throw, and it only got coverage because people were tweeting at ESPN, what if Patrick Mahomes did this? What would you be saying right now? And it's serious.
Yeah.
But they're not on this fantastic team, and Matt Stafford largely for his whole career, has been disrespected. But he's not flashy.
That's one of the worst franchises in sports
history. He's for me, he's one of the biggest what ifs in NFL history. I think he's a classic case of, I don't know if I asked this question on here or not. I posed the question, if Mitch Trubisky got drafted to the Chiefs, would things be different? And if Patrick Mahomes got drafted to the Bears, would things be different? Not just, obviously, how many games those teams won, but as a development of a quarterback. So
I think they both move a little bit, for sure. But they wouldn't trade places.
Right. I don't think so either.
They would move closer together.
For the record, I don't think so either. But I think if Matt Stafford gets, I don't know what team would have been good for him to get drafted to when he got drafted.
Well, if he played for the Patriots, he probably would have won multiple Super Bowls.
There we go. Yeah.
And Tom Brady's great. I'm not denigrating Paul.
Paul.
I don't know where the fuck that is. Paul Brady.
Yeah, Paul Brady.
Paul Brady. But I think Stafford wins a couple of those Super Bowls.
Definitely, and I think people call him Pad Statford because he pads his stats, but I think he's just the idea of padding stats to me is dumb when he does it for his whole career and is able to consistently put up big numbers. That just means he's a good quarterback.
Well, how many head coaches and offensive coordinators has that guy had to play for? He's learning a damn new system every year.
Exactly. And another point is, what does Tom Brady's career look like if he gets drafted in Matt Stafford's situation?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that mentality, that fiery mentality, and relentless work effort. I don't know if Tom Brady acquires that if he plays for the Lions. And maybe if Matt Stafford went to the Patriots, I don't know what he's like, in the film room or whatever, but maybe that kind of comes to Matt Stafford and he becomes the GOAT. I don't know. I can't confidently say that if Matt Stafford was drafted to the Patriots, I can't confidently say that he wouldn't be a part of the NFL 100.
He probably would be, just because Super Bowls get you there.
Yeah.
If Dan Marino had 4 Super Bowls, he would probably be the GOAT.
Yeah.
He probably would be, but they didn't win any Super Bowls, so he gets pushed down the list despite putting up, in his era, like Babe Ruth type numbers for a couple of those years, so yeah. And
then the other question you posed, I don't really know what this means, to be completely honest. Rather Monday doubleheader, Tuesday Thursday. I think you meant to say or Thursday.
I think I was trying to type that while I was jogging. Which means I had no oxygen in my brain at all.
Yeah.
But so for a few years now we've had obviously Monday night football and Thursday night football.
Yeah.
However, in the last couple of weeks we've got to experience, because of COVID, basically experience a couple of new things. So on this past Monday we had a double header. We've had a couple of those actually. Mm-hmm. This one was like 2:00 and 5:30 or whenever Monday night football starts.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool. Now
I did too.
I didn't get to watch any of the first game, but I thought it was kind of a neat thing. And then the week before that, I believe we had a Monday night game and a Tuesday night game. So assuming Monday night football stays the same, would you rather have the Monday night doubleheader, a Monday-Tuesday thing, or the current format of Monday-Thursday?
Thursday being the start of the next week. So you would have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
No, I'm saying So right now we have Thursday night football. Would you rather see that stay where it is?
Oh, or go to Tuesday.
Or have it move to Monday or Tuesday?
Okay. I like that. I don't particularly like Tuesday or Thursday, just from the standpoint of rest time for players. Monday you do lose an extra day as well, but I think if we're just talking about strictly for players, I think doubleheader Monday is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. As a fan too, think about it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now on Tuesday, let me mention on Tuesday, you get one more day of rest than you do on Thursday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So then
there's 7 days in a week, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. With COVID,
I just
hasn't changed that.
was not doing math there.
Yeah, but it's still, you're right. It's still an issue for
Yeah.
sure. There's still less rest, obviously, than Monday.
I think Thursday night football should go away.
Okay.
I just think it should. None of the players like it. It's pointless.
Yeah.
Tuesday is probably the shittiest day of the week objectively.
Okay.
I think adding I like the Monday doubleheader. I think if you move okay, first of all, the NFL, I don't know who is in control of when games are played. There was like 1,000 10 o'clock games and 2 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
So they got to figure that shit out, first of all.
Yeah.
I think I think there should be like 1 or 2 less 1 o'clock games. So if you take one of those 1 o'clock games, assuming that there's not only like 3 of them,
Yeah.
you take one of those 1 o'clock games and move it to Tuesday. I think I like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Thursday night football is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm just not in the mode of football yet.
No.
The doubleheader was fun. Even again, I didn't watch it. I watched part of quite a bit of the second game, but yeah, I kind of like the idea. I mean, you could have an East Coast game, so their fans are watching that game at 5:30.
Yeah.
And then a West Coast game, so you kind of cater to both fan bases.
I didn't consider the coast thing too. I like that.
And then I think it's really great this year because a lot of people are working at home. I mean, they can flip on a game while they're, while they're in a Zoom call.
Seriously, yeah.
But I did like the Tuesday thing too because you got Sunday's a big day, and then
Yep.
you have Monday, and then Tuesday. I think they should really consider one of those, either going to Tuesday or going to Monday. I also like when you have college football really going. I don't like Thursday games for college football really either. However, if you could go Thursday, Friday, Saturday for colleges and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for the NFL, that's pretty cool.
That is, yeah.
And then baseball can have Wednesday.
Yeah, and I think business-wise, I think the NFL owning 3 days of the week is probably good for them.
Yeah.
And player-wise, I know they hate Thursday games. They've been complaining about it for years.
Yeah.
And I have never experienced the allure of Thursday night football as a fan. It was gone by the time I was really into football.
I never really liked it. They used to. So when I don't know how old I was. And there's a play. Tony Dorsett ran.
I was gonna mention that.
99 yards, and it was on Monday Night Football. But they used to do a Monday Night Football broadcast, but it was on Thursday. But they still had the Monday Night Football music and shit, and they called it Monday Night Football.
That's
it was
funny.
so dumb. But so you once in a while you'll. And there were even it used to be in their opening montage. They'd show Dorsett breaking free. I'm like, that was on a Thursday, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I never. It was kind of fun, maybe when it was like twice a year.
I didn't know it was like that ever.
They used to
know that.
A long time ago. They would have it just maybe once or twice a year, and it was usually a big game. But now it's every week, and it's usually a shitty matchup.
That's the thing.
And they wear stupid ass uniforms.
That's the thing. The uniforms, I think, were a complete attempt at saving Thursday night football. Like, please, someone like at least watch for the uniforms. But yeah, you're not even putting good. You're not even put like Jags Texans is like a staple Thursday night in fucking the UK. Like that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Like. If you're really gonna make Thursday night football a thing, then yeah, you gotta do it at least only once every other week and make it a good game. But it's shitty matchups. I don't know. Yeah. I like the idea of having that Tuesday game as like an extra little thing at the end of the football week.
Well, they're gonna have one of those three. They're not gonna have less games. They're not going to have less national games.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you want to save Thursday night football.
Okay.
I think Tuesday night football is a lot better than Thursday night football.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'll be, we're going to learn a lot of shit, during these difficult times. We're trying shit and, kind of throwing stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. So I'd like to see something positive come out of this for the NFL and, going with Monday or Tuesday.
I will say one of the benefits entertainment wise of the pandemic is, like you said, throwing shit at a wall and seeing if it sticks. They're willing to take risks because everything is down. Everything is down right now, so they're forced to take risks, and they have they can just abandon it. They have an excuse like, numbers were already down, so that's not a big deal, and we're just gonna move on from that. So yeah, I mean they're taking some risks and switching some stuff up, and I think in general, that's probably good for the brand. Just getting a little refresh.
Yeah.
In some different ways. Yeah. All right. I guess moving on to basketball, we have
basketball's over.
Basketball is over.
Are my Sonics coming back?
No, I'm sorry.
Fuck the NBA. Fuck Howard Schultz.
Fuck Howard Schultz.
And fuck the commissioner too, because he still hasn't brought my team.
No, we're not. I will not stand for that. I will not stand. When's he gonna
bring my team back?
When did he fucking get rid of him? He never did.
He never brought it back.
God damn.
He never brought it back.
Sour old fart. Yeah. So.
What do you got?
AD is planning to opt out. And resign. They won a championship. They won a championship, so this is pretty expected. He had a 28.
LeBron showed him how to do that. LeBron does that every fucking year.
$28.7 million option. People are like making a lot more money than that right now, so I don't blame him. He and Rich Paul. I did not realize Rich Paul is his agent. That's the NBA kind of tried to ban him. But that's LeBron's agent as well, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Anyway.
So this is one of
2, 3. Oh wow, they will discuss 2, 3, and 4-year deals. I figured it would be a long term, but
the NBA had a great idea. I don't know, 20, 25 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. They called it Larry Bird rights.
Yep.
If you sign with your own team, you can go over the cap and you can get a bigger deal. So that was cool because, if you're the Pelicans, right? You can go to AD and say, "Hey, we'll give you, I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but we can give you 20% more than anybody else can." And, and a lot of players said, "Yeah, okay," because players, some of them are trying to win titles, but especially when you're younger, you're trying to get paid. Okay. Yeah. You're trying to get generational money or life-changing money. So that worked for a while, and I would still love the NFL to see the NFL do something like that. Yeah. So the Seahawks, when they have a good draft,
you shouldn't have to make decisions on players you drafted.
No, you shouldn't. You should be able to keep them all.
Yeah.
If the owner wants to. So, but now the players are finding ways around this by, either sign and trade was how things started. So you'd sign a big deal and get traded. They called it sign and trade. I haven't seen that as much lately.
Not a ton. I think maybe Jimmy Butler did that with the Sixers.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure though.
So now they're all doing this. I'll sign a contract with an opt-out and then I can get paid. So I'm going to, have to work for these shitty wages of $28 million this year, but next year I can renegotiate and get a bigger deal. So they are somewhat gambling on themselves. If AD had blown his knee out or something, maybe it wouldn't have gotten as big a deal. So it is a gamble, but obviously it's going to pay off for him in a big way.
Yeah. And speaking of the Pelicans, AD's former team, Stan Van Gundy,
no boy.
It doesn't say the amount of years actually. But he has agreed to a deal to become the next coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he's gotten chances and hasn't done.
He's a,
he did well with the Magic, kinda, but then shit the bed.
He's one of those guys that I think he's a great teacher. I mean, look at him. He looks like a fucking teacher.
He really does, yeah.
he's a great teacher of the game. He's a great X's and O's guy. He seems to be able to relate pretty well to a lot of players. I don't know if that's still going to be the case or not. And then, meltdowns in the playoffs.
That's the thing.
Time after time. And then I think we talked about this before on the podcast, but somebody kind of shed some light on that you mentioned.
Yeah, Matt Barnes,
yeah.
All the Smoke podcast. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. We talked about Steven Jackson and his fucking clownery earlier this year. I think, based off what I've heard, I think he is learning and growing as a person.
Okay.
I think.
For him.
I'm not gonna, if he messes up again, don't come back to this and bitch at me. I think he is growing as a person.
A little less Jew hating these days.
Little less Jew hating. So
less swastikas.
I don't think he ever had swastikas, but if he did, less, hopefully.
Well,
yeah. So yeah, Matt Barnes was a part of the Magic team that with Dwight Howard that went to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple times. And the finals ones, actually. But the one in particular he talks about is reaching the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics, where they just completely changed their entire game plan to play with the Celtics, which is not, when you got especially when you got a guy like Dwight Howard, don't switch up the game. Just, and prime Dwight Howard, keep in mind. This is MVP,
this is when he was an
MVP level
MVP
Dwight
candidate,
Howard. Yeah. So, that's concerning.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is this the coach that they plan on winning a championship with Brandon Ingram and Zion and Lonzo? Or is this the coach that teaches them, like you said, kind of helps them develop, and then they find their Frank Vogel to come in and instantly win a championship? I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is it's something like that, or I don't know. I'd love to see the guy learn from his mistakes.
Mm-hmm. No, I would too, for sure.
So many coaches do this, and I've seen it from this guy down to Little League.
Yeah.
Coaches that overthink, they just think too much.
Yep.
Don't make the game harder than it is.
Guess what? You got to the Eastern Conference Finals doing this.
Yeah.
Keep doing
it. Keep doing it and go. If you're going to lose doing what you do.
Yeah.
Not what somebody else does. I saw the Lakers do that some.
Yeah, that was concerning.
They had enough talent. They were so talented. Because LeBron, formed another super team.
Because LeBron's the most talented and best player of all time.
And he went out and said, I want that guy. I want Anthony Davis. Anyway.
I want Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman was a cast-off.
I'm kidding.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I know. I watched the documentary too, okay? Spurs didn't want him.
That was all slanted by Jordan. The guy wasn't that good. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyway, hey, good luck. And I hope, I'd love to see Zion turn into something.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what
We've
happens.
seen enough bus. This is just a tweet from Woj. I'm reading this right now. This might be completely uninteresting. Including Brandon Ingram, New Orleans has 10 players returning. They have 4 picks. It's 3 seconds, though. And projected 9.3 mid-level and $3.6 million biannual exception available. So don't really know what that means. But what I'm also interested to see, I think Drew Holiday, I think it would be smart for them to trade him. He's consistently, by other NBA players, said he is known as the most underrated player in the NBA, especially with his defense, a guy that you never want to see night to night locking you up.
Yeah.
He just doesn't fit the timeline, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he's around 30. He's getting there. So I think, trade him to a team like, I don't know, the Jazz or the Pacers, a team that's looking for an extra piece and get some young guys back.
Lakers have nothing to trade, though.
Yeah, I mean, you could even argue, ship out Kuzma and maybe a couple, KCP, maybe a couple others, but the Bucks, they got young guys anyway.
Yeah.
I would like to see Drew Holiday go to a team that's competing for a championship, and I would also hate to see Drew Holiday age out of the league on a team that is on the precipice of being a championship contender,
right.
Which I'm not going to go out and say in 4 or 5 years that the Pelicans are going to be contenders, because who knows what can happen in that time.
Yeah.
But I would also not be surprised at all if they can manage to keep Zion there, really.
Well, And part of it's going to come down to, so if they're a bad franchise, what they will do is make a couple of stupid trades to try to get to the playoffs, or
too early. They'll do it too early.
So they'll go out and trade too much for mediocre players on the downside of their career.
Drew Holiday for Tyler Hero?
I've seen this over and over again.
Yeah.
Over and over again. I've been watching sports for, more than 40 years, and people have done this through all time.
The Sixers did it. We saw the Sixers.
Yeah.
They were trusting the process and abandoned it.
Yeah.
Now they're fucked.
So what the Pelicans need to do is, get a couple more good draft picks.
Yeah.
Be smart, and build your organization. And then when it's time, by the time Zion's contract is coming up, maybe then you're sniffing, competing for a championship, and maybe he wants to stay there.
With the combination of the bird rights, hopefully a good franchise with a good coach, and gumbo, they could probably keep Zion there.
Keep
I think
me with the gumbo. That's all I need.
Yeah. I really want to go to New Orleans. I genuinely just for the food. Like I know it's a great city. I'll check out other stuff. I want to go there just to eat.
Yes.
Anyway.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hold on. Where are we at? We got. I just got to find the link here. Yes, here it is. Daryl Morey stepped down, and Raphael Stone is replacing him. I don't know if that's a solid replacement or if that's interim.
Morey's the guy that pissed off 2 billion people, right?
Pissed off the Chinaman, yeah. No, he pissed off the Chinese government and was the reason that I think they allowed NBA broadcasts when the bubble started, but not until then. So yeah, he's an interesting one because you could say he's a great GM by, the James Harden trade was one of the greatest trades ever. And he got Westbrook there, but I just think ultimately what happened here is he went balls to the wall with an experiment. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And I think he realizes that he probably actually got fired, like we talk about. If he stepped down and is still getting paid, that means he got fired.
Oh yeah.
So, obviously, this is just going to naturally raise the question. What does this mean for the Rockets as far as their roster structure? They have no centers. Their tallest player is P.J. Tucker, at least tallest player that plays. So, what are the Rockets going to do? What does Raphael Stone want to do? Are they going to trade Russ? Are they going to try to get a guy like Embiid? What's going to happen here? I have no idea. If I
were them, I'd probably just blow the whole fucking thing up.
They don't have a coach.
Start over.
Like, are you trading Harden even?
Trade them all.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like Harden anyway.
I don't either.
So
I don't like the way he plays. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's a dick too. I don't know though.
Yeah, he's just weird. I think he's just weird.
Yeah.
I think he's just a different kind of dude and struggles to mesh with people. I would definitely trade him if I could get something. If I can't get a lot for him, then fine, just let him play it out. But yeah, I would
Harden
trade
for
Russ.
Zion.
Yeah, I would. If I were them, I would blow it up and start over. You're not going to win a title with those two clowns.
I don't think you will. Nah.
No, so I would just blow it up and try to rebuild it at this point.
Yeah, and we still don't know who their coach is too, so we don't know what system they're going to want to run. I think Harden's not going to like it unless he's allowed to do what he's been doing.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to bring in a coach that does not support James Harden taking 40 shots a game, then, I think you gotta get rid of him, or maybe try to, I don't know what you do. And it's hard to tell whether Harden, cause he accepted a 6-man role for a while there, and he wasn't always the guy that was just dribbling between his legs and taking step backs every single time. Like, it wasn't always like that. So I'd be curious to see what his response would be to being asked to create more. He has quite a few assists, but that's just because the ball is in his hands all the goddamn time.
All the time.
So I'd be curious. Turning Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook into off-ball players is kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I don't know why they thought that would work, but yeah. And another coaching signing we got here is the boy Ty Lue going from the Lakers assistant coach to the Clippers head coach, 5 years.
I remember him. He was LeBron's assistant coach in Cleveland. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Coach LeBron hired him to. Yeah. No. He obviously has a winning track record. Any coach that has coached LeBron, it's hard to tell. Unless they've gone on. Like Eric Spoelstra is definitely just a great coach. We've seen him win without him, so it's hard to tell with Ty Lue. It'll be really interesting to see what happens here. I think part of this has to do with Kawhi and Paul George. Obviously, they would have had to approve of it, but I think they saw that LeBron was able to kind of do his thing, and I think maybe Kawhi and Paul George like that.
Right.
That I don't want to say that they can bitch him around, but they are the bosses.
Well, I think he deserves another chance.
I do too.
I mean,
he went from LeBron to having like the worst team.
Yeah. So I think he definitely deserves another chance. So I'm glad to see it. I don't know enough about it to say whether he's going to be great or not.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like I said, I just think he deserved another shot somewhere. So might as well be where you're already at.
Yeah.
So.
All right, moving on to college athletics, the unpaid servants. Pac-12 has a 20-game basketball schedule. What is it normally?
More than that.
28
They're playing
or something?
all conference. So,
oh, okay.
So I don't know how many they normally have right around that number, but they're just so it's normally college basketball teams play,
Marymount.
Yeah,
and
you end up playing, especially if you go to the. I'm trying to think how many regular season games, but there are teams that get into the tournament that are 32-5 or so you end up playing north of 30 games normally. So, so I don't know. I have no real thoughts on it. I mean,
makes sense.
Yeah,
that they're doing
only
it.
And
so this is an interesting one because we talked about the rescheduling issues with Louisville and Kentucky and how Calipari's bitching out apparently. And I haven't stayed updated on that whole thing, so I don't know if they resolved that. But Gonzaga's doing the same shit with UW.
Yeah.
This is an interesting point. So Kentucky is the superior program, but Louisville is still very good.
Yes.
Gonzaga is the way better program.
Yep.
UW is currently potentially good.
Yeah.
We don't really know, but scary enough to not want to reschedule. We'll say that.
Yeah, I think
they almost beat them last year.
There's not a lot of upside for Gonzaga to play UW this year.
Yeah, bitch asses.
Yeah,
fight me.
So you can't really help your resume. You can only hurt your resume. UW, on the other hand, if they hang with them, even if they lose, it's a quality loss. So it helps UW. I think, and so historically, so. Who's the coach of Gonzaga? Mark Few. Mark Few. So this has never been. Neither coaches spoke about this, but I think he and Romar hated each other.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There were little hints at it.
Okay.
I really think Romar didn't like him at all.
Interesting.
And he is he's been smart to stay at Gonzaga. He's a kind of a weird dude. Like he would be a disaster at Kentucky or somewhere like that. Like he just wouldn't.
Interesting.
He's not a booster guy.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a cigars in the back room kind of guy. Like it wouldn't work at all. Anyway, so they didn't play for several years rumored because of that relationship. So they finally brought it back. Some reluctance on both sides, but it's right for the fans. As fans in this state. We should be able to watch that game every year.
Oh, yeah.
There's no excuse for it. So I understand, the Pac-12 fucked everything up by shutting everything down. And then, I guess we're not going to shut everything down. But wait, hold on. I understand that, but find a way. Like, we deserve that game. Mm-hmm. Everybody, Gonzaga fans, UW fans.
The players.
Just fans everywhere.
Yeah. And
deserve that. The players.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the players.
Yeah, the players.
Those guys.
I don't know. I mean, I would really love to see UW Gonzaga become a legit basketball rivalry.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be
great.
so sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just, obviously that can't happen if if their bitch asses aren't gonna reschedule.
Yeah.
Bitch asses.
Bitch asses.
um,
Gonzaga.
9 a.m. kickoffs. What the fuck? Actually, no. It's probably a good thing. So East Coast, the old East Coast men that can't stay up till 10 can watch.
I'm starting to change on this a little bit. So, first of all, especially this year where we can't go to games anyway.
Yeah.
Like going to a game and having to be there at 9 a.m. sucks. However, how many times have you watched, Lee Corso put the mascot head on, right? And he waves and the TV fades out and you hit the C button on the remote, which shows the games that are coming on, right?
Yeah.
If you have, I don't need to advertise for those fuckers because I don't
Fuck
like the
them.
cable company anyway.
Yeah.
But you hit the C button and you're like, what the Memphis? What?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
the fuck? Who?
Yeah.
South Dakota State? Like what? Like and there's
Arkansas
nothing. There's
Tech.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like so the worst SEC game.
Yeah.
There's nothing on. The worst. Like Kansas State. Just like I don't.
Who cares?
I'm looking for a matchup where there's a number in front of both the teams.
Yes.
Ranked matchup.
Yes.
So I don't know how many times I've done that where I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll fucking go exercise and try this again in a few hours.
Yeah.
And see if there's a goddamn game that anybody not going to those schools currently wants to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me. I don't understand why there aren't more quality games in that time slot. You would think that would be ideal for TV.
Yeah, and
especially,
also,
I'm talking East Coast games.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
kickoff.
Yeah, it's a noon kickoff for them.
So
there are nights where I'm, not yet, but I specifically recall nights where I'm choosing between like Ohio State versus like Penn State and Alabama versus LSU. Like I have to flip between if one of those is at noon, problem solved.
So I think the Pac-12 could have a great opportunity here. And I'm only talking a couple times a year. I'm not saying I'm not saying a bunch of teams should do this and it shouldn't be every week. But yeah, I mean, they're going to start out with USC Arizona State. That's a pretty sweet matchup. You got two pretty talented teams. You got Herm Edwards. We play to win the game. You've got a nice matchup there. Maybe an Oregon Washington. Slides into that 9:00 slot. I think it would be a great opportunity for the Pac-12 in a couple of to go. You go on Fox. They're trying to kick up things a notch a bit. And it's a real opportunity for people all over the country when they hit their whatever the equivalent of their C button is, and they're like, Jesus Christ, like I'm an SEC fan, but I don't even care about this SEC matchup.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, number 14 USC versus number 24 Arizona State. I don't know if they'll actually be ranked like that or not, but just as an example, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And I would do the same thing, even if it's an SEC matchup. Like if it's a good matchup, I'll watch it. If it's two teams nobody cares about,
no chance.
I'm out of there.
At most, I'm turning it on and doing homework and not paying attention at all.
Yeah,
just having noise in the background. But
so I would like to see a couple of those. And I was kind of against it at first. I know it's not good for the players. They're having to get up at 5 a.m. But I don't think people realize these days players, most of their practices are in the morning now.
Yeah, early too.
So when I was in school, football practice was in the late afternoon or evening.
Mm-hmm.
But now they usually set up their classes to start in the afternoon, and they have practices at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but hey, they can get up once a week or once a season.
Yeah.
At 5 a.m. They'll be fine.
If we're making NFL guys do Thursday night football, they can wake up early.
Yeah.
And also we have to accept the fact that we will lose if we compete with the SEC. We will lose if we compete with the Big Ten. We're not gonna do it. Even the Big 12, we're not gonna do it. So,
and going back to what I said earlier, you need people to see these games if you ever want to get into a 4-team playoff.
Yeah.
You got to have it. So if USC is one of your contenders, give them that slot.
Mm-hmm.
If Oregon is the contender, give them a 9 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah,
just so people can at least see them once, so they're not playing it at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
After people have been watching good football all day,
mm-hmm.
and then they go, they don't even see these teams play. So anyway.
Yeah, so we just, got to accept that if we can't compete with them, move on, do something else.
Yeah.
Try to do our own thing.
Got to get creative if you want to rebuild the Pac-12 and the perception of it, because it's about as low as you can get right now.
Yeah. Another school with a low perception right now is Florida. They got shut down until Monday. They have 26 players tested positive. Also, Vanderbilt versus Missouri is postponed. Just more COVID shit. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Move on. Speaking of more COVID, Nick Saban had COVID.
He's Nick Saban. He gets better in like 5 hours.
Yeah, of course. So was it a false positive?
I'm hearing mixed stuff on that. Okay. I think that's what they're trying to make it sound like. But he did have negative tests.
We can't have fucking Sark coach this game. We can't do it. We just can't do it.
I know.
If we're playing Georgia, we
can't.
Enough
tequila for that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sark's doing pretty well. I shouldn't make fun of that. I think he's really rebuilt himself.
Okay, good.
And I hope he gets another opportunity someday.
Yeah, for sure. He did help out UW a ton.
He did. Brought him back to mediocrity.
Which is exactly what we needed.
And that mediocrity was a big step.
Yes.
From where they were.
Oh, I mean, so fuck.
I'll always be grateful to him. I wasn't sad to see him go. But he really, UW never gets to a college football playoff without Sark.
No doubt at all.
Because you needed that intermediate step. So anyway, but he had the COVID, and then he's not coaching, and then suddenly he's out there, and the mask wasn't always on either. So I hope he really wasn't sick.
Yeah. And then lastly, I don't know if you caught any more information on this, but Nas Carter violating Intercollegiate Athletics Code of Conduct, which could range from pissing in public to something horrible. I don't know what that means.
Normally when these things happen, and I've heard nothing, okay? I've heard nothing about this, not even really any leaks about it. I mean, I'm sure there's some shit on Twitter.
Yeah, but
I don't trust that stuff.
Don't read into that for something like
idiots,
this.
But rumor, it's rumor.
Yeah. But
normally when a player gets suspended, you hear something vague like violation of team rules. So if you're at BYU, you were within a 5-mile radius of a bottle of beer or a woman, and that you weren't married to.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally it would be something like So the way that was worded was a little shocking. He posted on Twitter something along the lines of, "I'm looking forward to the appeal and proving, whatever."
That sounds like that sounds like the quote unquote accidental PED thing. Like, I'm excited to prove that it didn't happen.
Maybe.
Because that's kind of the words that a lot of players use for that. But I don't know.
But I've also heard that people at UW are super clammed up about this. Like, yeah, we can't talk about that. Like almost a cringy, like not good. Like, not good. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't like him much. I mean, he's an exciting dunker.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Yeah. He doesn't make good decisions.
He's
on or off the court, I guess.
Offensive charge waiting to happen.
Yeah.
His uncle is a great rapper.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jay-Z's his uncle.
Yeah.
Sean
but
Cotta.
I don't know. Like, and he gets hot from three. I could have seen him becoming a 3-and-D player in the NBA. But I don't know. But yeah, he was going to be one of their better players this year. This is a big year, I think, for Coach Hop. He won with Romar's players and is kind of disappointed since then. Mm-hmm. So they need to show some fight this year. And losing one of your better players is not the way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna make a connection to Jay-Z here with him. saying I can't wait to prove that I'm innocent is a very drug dealer thing to do. It's just a very drug dealer thing to do. And Jay-Z, as we know, quite the businessman before he was had a legitimate business. He was moving.
So he had a little ring going on the UW campus.
Yeah, maybe. That's just a very drug dealer's thing to say. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I hope it was bullshit.
First and foremost, I hope it's bullshit because I hope he's a good person.
Yeah.
And then I hope he can play for us.
But here's the other thing too that's concerning. So last year you had that point guard whose name I'm forgetting too, but he's back. Yeah. He's back this year.
Yeah.
So you have a point guard become academically ineligible.
The Kentucky kid, right?
Yeah. That's hard to do.
It's so hard to do.
Because basically you go to a tutor and they tell you,
the answers.
What words to write.
Yeah. The answers.
Yeah. So this kid within 3 months of being on campus is ineligible. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Real oversight there. And then this with Nas Carter. So we have not only have the results on the court been disappointing, recruiting this past year has been disappointing. So boy, you better Hop, you got to win a little bit this year. Like, I've been rooting for him. I like Coach Hop, but there's some things that aren't looking so great over the last 12 months. So
yeah,
I hope he gets that fixed.
I hope he does too. And almost forgot. So LSU what is it called? Self-imposed and subtracting 8 scholarships and is suspending OBJ from stepping foot on campus for 2 years for giving out money.
Was fake money he was handing out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Joe Burrow, by the way, confirmed it was real money on a podcast. Yeah. Come on, Joe. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, Joe? Yeah. Say it's fake. Just keep your mouth shut.
No comment.
No comment.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all hand out money down there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I haven't read what the specifics were. I think it was beyond OBJ.
Yeah. I wonder if they were catching some heat after, like, OBJ kind of started open the door, and then they were investigating, and then they were like, shit, we better just we better do something ourselves.
Yeah. And then, with the NCAA, you want to shoot yourself in the arm so they don't shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
If you shoot yourself, they usually will let you do that. If you don't shoot yourself, they will shoot you and they'll blow your brains out.
Yeah.
So probably a good move by them. 8 scholarships is a big deal in today's football.
It really is.
Because we're already down to 85. And you got players leaving early every year, so 8 scholarships. They're still gonna get top recruits and all that, but it's an impact. They're gonna have some depth issues from that.
Yeah,
a little bit. So
for sure. Guess there's only one thing left to do.
Oh yeah,
the Howard Schultz Clown of the Week. All right. Big week for clowns. Not actually. I don't know.
It always is.
Yeah. Speaking of OBJ, I'm going to have to pull up the exact quote. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I am the clown of the week. We got OBJ saying that he's not going to get COVID. Let's see. Here it is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I just don't think COVID can get to me, says OBJ. He says he wants nothing to do with it. Oh, you want nothing to do with it? Okay, you're good then.
I don't think it's going to get into this body. I don't want no parts of it, and it don't want no parts of me. It's mutual. It's a mutual respect.
This dude said a virus respects him.
Wow,
that's quite the statement.
Hand out some cash to the virus and maybe leave him alone.
Yeah.
And the virus could ban him for 2 years.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clown shit. I mean, not much else to say, honestly.
He has been a clown.
He's been a clown. I've tried to not stand up for him. I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt many times. It's just hard.
I've never seen a receiver make so many ridiculous catches and so many bad drops.
Yeah.
He doesn't get...
True.
The ones that are right on his body, he drops those sometimes.
That is true.
It's crazy. Okay, is it?
Go for it, man.
So, this guy, I mean, he's, so far he could be clown of the century.
Yeah.
Honestly, this guy. So, this is a complicated one. I'm gonna start at the top with Jets owner Woody Johnson, who has really done a terrible job with that franchise. Now, the last few years, he was selected by Trump to be the ambassador to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't been as involved. His brother has been kind of the leader at the top. But just that organization, it should be so easy to win there.
Oh, yeah.
You should be able to get players to come there.
Mm-hmm.
But they just time after time make horrible decisions and make a laughingstock of themselves. He's been a clown for a long time. He's made bad hires, again, like we mentioned before. If your franchise sucks for 20, 30, 40 years, you can't blame the GMs and the coaches and the players. It's the owner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that's in common, and he falls into that category. One of the biggest clowns of the century.
Oh, yeah. 100%. All right. Well, most of the time we talk the clown of the week long enough where the music just stops, but I'm going to have to stop it myself.
Right.
Moving on
I like
to...
that song.
I do. We can't keep it playing for our locks of the week because this isn't clown shit. This is a lock.
It's true. Although if you played it for my player of the week,
yeah,
that might be a good time for the clown music.
Yeah, he's got the hair. He's got the hair color too and stuff. Yeah. So do you have a lock? You want to go first?
So yeah, my lock of the week, and hopefully I'm not being too much of a homer here, but I'm gonna go with Blake Snell to get to lead Tampa Bay to a victory tonight to even up the World Series.
I like
game
that.
apiece.
I like that.
The Dodgers are favored, so this is not an easy pick for me to make. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you could put some coin down on Tampa Bay, and if they win, then I forget what the number is minus.
Yeah.
It's plus 135 or something like that. So you could make a little money. Now I did have my first loss last week. Fucking Mustache Boy killed me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I fell into the hype of Mustache Boy, and the Jags were not within whatever the spread was. I forget now.
It's a shame.
Mustache Boys and Redheads killed me.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Lately with my locks, I've been kind of the king of picking against the favorite for the spread.
Yeah. And
I'm going to do it once again. We have New Orleans versus the Panthers. Panthers are 3-3 without Christian McCaffrey back.
Right.
He's on my fantasy team, so I should probably know, but I don't know what the update on him is. But Saints are playing at home 3-2. They're giving the Saints 7.5.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of points. And Teddy Bridgewater, I'll keep saying it, a good quarterback.
Yep.
Probably better than Drew Brees right now,
Probably.
for being honest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Panthers plus 7.5. I mean, Jesus, 7.5?
7.5 is a big spread in the NFL.
Big old spread for a good Saints team.
Yeah, I basically would never. There's very few circumstances where I would ever bet.
Would you?
Or ever give 7.5 points?
Hold on, where is it?
So I think that's a good selection.
What's the biggest spread? Here it is. Would you take Buffalo minus 13 against the Jets?
That's the Jets.
Yeah.
So I might.
What about Kansas City minus 9.5 against the Broncos? Another divisional matchup.
9.5.
It's a toughie.
I would have to look at the weather.
Fair enough.
If
enough.
the weather looks good, then I'll take the Chiefs.
But Patrick Mahomes played very well in the snow.
He did, but they only scored 26 points or something like that.
True.
Those are spreads that I would normally stay away from unless it's against the Jets.
Any large spread like that, I'm pretty much going to take the underdog there. So, but yeah, I just think this one in particular is quite ridiculous. I
have noticed that Vegas has adjusted to the offenses, so the over is harder to take now than it was a few weeks ago. So
interesting.
I was kind of cleaning up on those overs, but now you look and they're all like in the 50s.
Right.
Like,
okay.
That's hard. That's hard.
Okay.
Like I think the Seahawks game is it 57 or something like that. Like that's hard. It's hard for me to go over 57. So.
And then, do you want to go first for Player of the Week?
Player of the week. So I've been good with my lock of the week, despite my first loss. I'm 7-1 with lock of the week. My player of the week has been another story.
Yeah.
So, most recently it was Danny Green, who did everything he could to try to get the Lakers to lose that series.
Yep.
And then this week, we talked about this already, but I did pick the Ginger.
The Red Rocket.
The Red Rocket. And he was really, really awful.
Yeah.
Really awful.
Like, so bad. And so was Danny Green.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, I almost feel bad. I feel bad. I shouldn't even pick this guy.
Oh, don't pick someone on the Seahawks, you asshole.
I'm not. I'm picking someone who's playing against the Seahawks. So if he's going to have a bad game, this is the week to do it. But I'm going to go with Budda Baker.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to pick DeAndre Hopkins, who was almost my pick.
Okay. Yeah, he may have a big week as well. He's going to have 13 catches for 140 yards, all in front of Trey Flowers.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know how much Trey Flowers will play, I guess, with Dunbar.
Right, yeah.
But Budda Baker, man, I was looking at this, and this is one we just talked about this. Like, don't look at drafts because it'll make you want to blow your brains out. But the Seahawks in that draft, that's the Malik McDowell draft.
Yep.
And they basically passed on Budda Baker 3 times. They could have had him and didn't take him. If you have him, I like Jamal Adams, but you don't have to trade 2 first-round picks because you would have already had Budda Baker.
Yeah.
Man, watching that, I'll admit I don't know. I would have predicted he would have been the highest paid safety in the game. But I knew he was going to be good. He is fearless. He hits hard. He knocked out 2 Seahawks running backs last year. We've never seen one of them ever since then.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was, the guy that was supposed to be able to catch passes.
Yeah.
And just got hurt all the
Rashad
time.
Penny.
No. Oh, maybe that is who.
Procise?
Oh, maybe he didn't knock out Procise. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, I think he's gonna be very visible in this game. I think the Seahawks will still win the game, but yeah, watch out, Chris Carson.
Yeah.
This might be hopefully maybe Travis Homer should get a few more.
Yeah. Just sacrifice Travis Homer to Budda Baker. Hopefully that's all he'll need. But yeah, so my player of the week, I also don't like to do this just because I don't think this year he's been. I'm just gonna say this year, except for his last game, and that's part of the reason why I'm picking him. This year he's been great. I think since 2015-ish, Aaron Rodgers has not been that incredible of a quarterback.
Yeah, you're right.
I think this year he's been great. Last week he had an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
He's playing the Texans this week. I think, Aaron Rodgers just plays better when he's pissed. And I think he'll be pissed about last game, going against a shitty Texans team, really shitty defense. Yeah, taking Aaron Rodgers on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got anything else in any of the sports world?
I don't think so. Nope. I got nothing.
All right. All right. Well, once again, subscribe at Mason Charles Coe on Twitter, at AaronCoe29, ebook on Amazon, hardcover on Lulu.com, hopefully on Amazon soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you made it this far, you're insane. But thank you.
Subscribe, motherfuckers.
Just it's free for fuck's sake. Just subscribe.
That's right.
Oh, I don't have an account. Fucking make one.
It's not hard.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
All right. See ya.
See ya.